All right, we got a bit of a big one today. We are going to be talking about, first of all, 100,000 views. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But illegal building techniques, too. I wanted to go over some of those in this video because there's a lot of really interesting stuff. And also, I have an idea for a video in the future that you can actually contribute to. You can contribute your ideas as well. So this will be a fun one. And lastly, probably most excitingly to me, bootlegs. I'm supposed to be getting a handful of bootlegs in the mail here soon. And I am honestly, I can't wait. Some of them I know what they are. I'm not going to reveal them because I want them to be a surprise, but some of them I don't. Some of them are literally a surprise to me. I don't know what's even in the package being sent. So that's going to be open on camera, and I'm just gonna go for it. You know. With that said, though, 100,000 views. That's a big number. So here's the thing. Last month, we were averaging about 1,000-ish views per month, maybe a little over. So 100 times that. I don't have words. That speaks for itself. I can't follow that up with anything. I've been doing a lot of research, right? I've been looking up sort of where the channel should be in certain milestones, right? And first of all, let me just say thank you, because we are far exceeding any of those sort of rules of thumb, right? And I understand that YouTube can be a cruel beast, but for me, it has been rewarding. It has been a gift, and I've been enjoying it. This has honestly been probably the fastest month of my life. Like it has flown by. And there nothing even comes close. So in my research, I was looking, okay, how many views per video, for example, would a channel of my size expect? And someone said basically that YouTube gives this sort of rule of thumb of expecting about 10% of your subscriber count to watch a single video within its first week, and to strive for that 20% mark. And we blow that out of the water. Here's the thing, right? So even our lowest videos, even the videos that don't perform as well, that on lull days where the YouTube impressions just aren't very high, and that's not something that's in my control, of course. It's also not something that's in the community's control, you know? Even on those days, we are well above that 20% mark, and that's just per video in that day, not in the week. And you guys notice that I've been putting out kind of more consistently about 3 videos per day where I can, right? So I have a little bit of a schedule right now that I'm kind of working with, that I'm just kind of rolling with the punches, so to speak, so I can put out videos at certain points in the day, give or take an hour or two. And that has proven to be very effective for me, thankfully. And so thank you again. Just know, tuning into this, the reason that I do what I do is because of the inspiration I'm able to give other people. I've said this a dozen times, but the most rewarding comments that I get are the comments telling me how I've inspired someone else or reignited their passion in Bionicle. I love comments talking about like people liking that they found my channel. You know, that's so heartwarming. But the ones that I truly strive for are those comments saying, just hearing you talk about this passion makes me passionate, that kind of stuff, right? And so that's incredible to me. And know that when you're watching this content, when you're consuming the videos, you're directly benefiting me. You're directly helping me. Benefiting, that sounds bad, but you know what I mean, right? I work from home. I take care of my mom full time. I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I can't get one if I wanted to. And so that means that we often have to make our ends meet through selling things, right? And that's not always a guarantee. And so it's a struggle. You know, you guys have probably all been in your own, we all have our stories, right? With that said, I've officially applied for YouTube's partnership program. Now, it'll take a while for that to be approved, but we hit that. We can do that now. I don't expect it to be much. That's not the point. The point is that we're growing a community here. People are tuning in, people are watching, people are engaging, they're commenting when they have ideas, when they want to have a conversation, they do so, right? You guys show this initiative I've never seen before, and I love it. Because that's oftentimes why I say we're growing. You know, it's not just about me, but it's about this community that we're building. The Instagram has been blowing up. The Discord has been getting bigger. We passed 350 members, you know, just like a week ago. I haven't even checked it in that week. And so, yeah, You get the point. In terms of the video types that I end up putting out, I kind of have a bit of a structure, and I've been doing a little bit of an experiment this week that has proven to be beneficial for the channel as well. I still have the Baraki challenge that needs to be finished, and that will continue to be finished. I put out 4 videos this week, so I kind of wanted to slow that one down, because I didn't just want to burn out that entire challenge in, a couple of days, right? I can. I don't want to. I want to pace myself. I am loving it. I didn't expect to either. But yeah, so again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Even if you're not subscribed, it's lovely when you are, but here's the thing. YouTube doesn't actually really care all that much once you're above that 1,000 subscriber mark. As long as you hit that, you're good. You're golden, right? And so subscribing is great, but it's the views. It's you guys spending time here with me that really sets this channel up for success. This is why I don't call myself a biotuber, right? A bionicle YouTuber, but I call myself a YouTuber with a passion for bionicle, specifically because I see myself as someone who is learning from this process, someone who is learning to better communicate, get my thoughts out, become more confident in front of the camera, and who also likes to share my passion for the things that I create, right? And I also look at Bionicle often as though it is an art, like any other, right? And so this is just my way of expressing myself, but everybody has their way to express them. And I want to make sure that you guys know that any type of art, any type of time that you spend doing the things that you love is valid. I hear so many people that tell me, man, I wish I could create things like you. I wish I could do what you do. And you can, once you find your voice, and that voice needs practice. I tell people it's like learning a language. And the reason I say that is because language can also be an art, but it's unlike any other. It's learning a language is a process that to me has no anxiety involved. That's not to say that you're not anxious. It's not to say that you don't worry about how you'll sound, but you know that you have to do it because you can't communicate yourself otherwise, and that communication is far more important, right? And so as you learn, you know that you'll make mistakes, but eventually people will start to understand the meaning behind what you're trying to say, and you'll get better for it. Your unique voice will start to show as you become more fluent in this language that you're learning. And as you get a grasp on your words, as you feel more confident, your work will shine through. And the same is true for any art. I don't tell people I wish I was like them when I see an amazing sketch, an amazing artist. Shout out to artists like Pokoro Morgan, who I have loved and followed. I have one of their comic books that I contributed to in a drawer over here, and if I can pull it out, maybe I'll show it off in this video because you guys should absolutely pick it up. But yeah, it's right here even. So, but as lovely as something like this is, which if you haven't gotten these, they have free PDFs of these too. You don't need a physical copy, but support them as much as you can, of course. There's so much love in this. Anyway, but when I see this, I admire this artwork. I could stare at it for hours. But it's not, I don't think, man, I wish I could do that. Because I know that I am capable of doing it if I put the time in. That's not where I want to be. I want to have my voice. I want what I create to be authentically mine, to be my own work, right? And I think that should be true for everybody. Learn from what other people have done, but find your own voice in it and let that resonate, It's so much more powerful. One of the reasons that I kind of have my own style when it comes to building Bionicle sets, when I do my classic Rahi builds and things, is because of that practice. It is because of honing that skill further. One of the reasons my design process is as fast as it is now. It didn't start that way, but it's fast now because I have an understanding. I know how to use each of the individual rules for that language I've been learning, right? I know where I can bend those rules, where I can change things up, where I can take that slang, that new piece that maybe didn't exist back in 2001. And so when people tell me, oh, I love that you use only parts from that era, I don't. But my style falls within that era. And so when you see a set that I have designed, like this parrot here, which I didn't expect to show up in this video, you look at it and you think, oh, there's so many classic pieces in there. That must be a classic build. It's not. There are several pieces in here that did not exist until 2012, 13, 14, 15 even. But the style is classic. And so it fits right in. And that's what I mean. I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to set up these brick walls in front of yourself. I don't want you to feel like you can't do it because there's already a set of rules in place for you, because there isn't. You make the rules. When you learn to talk, you talk your way. And your way is the right way. Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed that part. Now let's go ahead and talk for a few minutes. And again, I just wanted to show this off because, God, I love it. It's so good. I also have a little Rahi build in here if you want to check it out. I don't know what page it's on because I had this in... yes. But yeah, I designed a little combination model for this, and it's so good. It's literally like a legitimate Lego old comic book. It's got like ad inserts and... Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at how much love goes into something like this. How much time... Again, and I imagine this takes weeks, months even, to design something like this. But I also imagine that Pocoro Morgan Ryan Art, you know, I can also imagine that they have sort of their own formula, their own system that allows them to work at the pace that they best flow in, right? All right. Anyway, if I keep talking like this, I'll cry. So, like I was saying, for illegal building techniques, I put out a short video yesterday, and it was definitely a fun one. But I didn't expect it to be as successful as it was. It hit like 1,500 views in its first hour, and it was specifically just talking about one illegal building technique that I had found that I used in 2000, I don't know, like a couple of years ago. And I wish, yes, it's right here. I was wondering where I put it. But it is specifically a building technique that I found with this little Pakawi bird that I designed for Generation 2. This is actually a redesign that I did yesterday. But the build itself, this mask, is literally just clipped onto this armor. They just slot together. I would say watch that short if you want to see exactly how it's done. But suffice to say, it got me thinking about all the different building techniques that I found, because anytime I find one, I try to like write it down on my phone so I can put it in a video in the future. And I actually did one of these in the past as sort of like a compilation. Well, I wouldn't say compilation, but a collection of different building techniques that I'd found and put them in a video. It also performed fairly well. I'll probably update it at some point because surely it's not the best quality video in the world, but there's so many fascinating ways where you can get Legos to fit together in a way that doesn't normally work, that shouldn't work. And they're obvious, you know, illegal building techniques, you know, techniques that Lego doesn't use anymore, like putting the stud inside of a pinhole. I wouldn't call it illegal necessarily as much as frowned upon, I guess. But at the same time, I love the really obscure stuff. And one of the most obscure connections that I have found regards this piece and the Rakshi spines. And they can literally just slide into those little holes there. And there's a little nub of plastic on each side that will hold it in place. And I did not expect this. And it works so well. As you can see, I want to make a little, like, I don't know, porcupine or something with these. I think it's cute. But that kind of stuff always fascinates me, right? And so as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you guys can contribute to a video like this. So my thought was, I've had a lot of people already commenting on that short about illegal building techniques that they have found. And yeah, so I think what I want to do is actually make a video where I test out your building techniques, right? I think that could be a lot of fun. And, you know, maybe I'll sprinkle in some of my own techniques in there as well. But the point of a video like that, or even a series like that, depending on how many submissions I get, is that you guys get to be involved with it as well, right? You guys get to feel like you're a part of that video, because although you can't be here with me, you get to directly contribute. I think that that's pretty cool. The third thing, as I mentioned, is I should be getting some bootlegs in the mail here. And if I didn't say it already, incredibly excited. There's so many pieces. I'm having a very hard time kind of biting my tongue here and not saying what they are, because I want to. Because I'm usually good at keeping secrets, but when it's something I'm hyped about, oh boy, everybody becomes my best friend, and I tell them. But no, yeah. So at least 3 sets, a handful of pieces, and a mysterious box are kind of on the way. I will further mention who this is from in the future if they want to be shouted out in a video like this. I don't want to. I know that there are a lot of people always asking me in the comments where to get certain things. I don't want this person to be inundated with a bunch of DMs and things like that. So right now I'm choosing to kind of protect their identity, of course, but you know, to know that I have a source like this that I can easily work with. There are obviously hurdles. Of course, I can't get a hold of these being in the US for one thing, because most places in the US don't have bootleg Bionicles specifically. You can occasionally find like Hero Factory bootlegs and stuff, but it's rare, right? Sometimes you'll find an old out of town spot or something, but yeah. So yeah, I'm so happy about it. There are so many. Okay, I'll just say this. I have at least 3 videos planned around just 3 sets, not to mention the videos that they'll be featured in, of course. But the idea is I want to do a combination model with some of them, and I want to use the parts from some of them to build another very popular thing. I can't give away more information than that because I will spoil it. But yeah, it's a lot. I'm so happy. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy this video, thank you all for sticking around. I don't know who would have made it this far, but if you did, hey, leave me a comment saying what time it is. I guess 17 minutes, close enough. Yeah, if you want to check out the Discord, you can. It will be linked in the description. Instagram's linked down there as well. If you want to support the channel, Patreon is available that you can check out and you can get some perks from there. Plus, I should be monetized on YouTube soon, so that'll be a lot of fun. So I can't wait till that happens. That's going to be a big celebration, I know. And I say big like sitting in a chair isn't a big celebration, but anyway. That's pretty much it for this one, guys. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you're subscribed, and have a good one. Later.